Hello guys and welcome to a new episode. Today we are going to be pretty much just looking at how to make those big vocals you hear before a drop. Today I'm going to be using this one for one of my latest tracks. I made it like I believe yesterday, 3 hours session with one of my friends, and the vocal after like not even that much processing was going to sound like this. So let me change this real fast and it's going to sound like this. Osiris. Alright, so that's pretty much the vocal, and before, like, all the effects, I probably didn't even put that many. The vocal sounded like this. Osiris. Even go further. Osiris. Osiris. So first things first is that you can't really, just have your voice. You can't record yourself saying Osiris, or Osiris. You have to give your voice the character. And this is my first tip. Whenever you're going to make a vocal, you can record it via a microphone or even your iPhone. Dior has posted a video up about using an iPhone. And then try and get it to sound as close to possible as you want. I mean, let's say you want a high-pitched voice, like put your hands up before the drop. Or put your hands up before the drop. You kind of want high-pitched voice and stuff. Don't be afraid to do it. I mean, like, it's kind of embarrassing if someone passes by and sees you go, but, it's going to be necessary in order to get the best quality. Like here, my voice sounds totally different. Osiris. I obviously wanted that really big-ass voice, so I tried to get it as close as possible as I could in my own, so I said Osiris. So you kind of want to give your voice the character first, because if you go in and I go in saying Osiris, like it's not gonna sound the same. And then the next thing you want to do is, once you have your voice, you want to say, okay, do you want it deeper, or do you just want it to sound the same but more effects, so forth. So with Osiris, I was trying to go more for that kind of Bigfoot kind of sound, and the way a lot of the big producers do their vocals before the drop is that they hire someone with that good voice that can get their voice that deep, or that they can they're kind of like a voice kind of manipulator, as in like they could probably mimic, say, certain people. So right now what I did is, first thing I did is I lowered the transpose. What the transpose is going to do, it's going to lower the pitch down by a certain amount. So here we have transpose, which is the biggest one, and then we have detunement, which is a little bit more subtle. I suggest going with transpose first and then using detunement if you want to fine tune it more. But for me, my favorite one was at -4, which is going to sound like this. Osiris. And then if it's at 0, Osiris. We put it at 4. Osiris. So there I have what I wanted. Now, what's next is to EQ your voice. So the way you're going to do it, and also cut it to the way you want it. So here I have Osiris, but then at the end I kind of have that Osiris. So I get rid of it. Osiris. 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 Okay, that sounds fine. And then what I did is I EQ'd the lows out of my voice, because I went really close to my mic in order to get that deep kind of sound. So I applied an EQ like this, and then this is what it sounds like. Osiris. So then we kind of got like that radio filter. So if you guys want to see how the EQ looks here, this is how it's going to look for mine. I got rid of the lows because my voice is really low. If you like, if I turn it off. Osiris. Now back on. Osiris. You can see the difference. And then finally what I did is I added some reverb. Osiris. To give it that big room feel. Osiris. And then finally you have it ready to go. Osiris. And then for the track, I also made this one. You think you can stand up against a god? Same concept. Like, that's the most important thing, is to have your voice that way. I mean, there's no magic thing that's going to turn your voice into like a god or a demon if you don't give it the tone. And that's pretty much the most important thing about it. I also made this one, which is Osiris again. I also made this part, which is really cool. My name is Osiris. So here we go. My name is Osiris. So again, I gave it that tone. Really, there's nothing to it, just another EQ8 and reverb. So really, there's no secret to making those big room vocals unless you want to add some effects. Some cool things you can do is probably like, you could get like 64-bit, sorry, not 64, Glitch 2. And things you could do with Glitch 2 are really cool is, let's say you want your voice to kind of drop at the end.
Osiris. Osiris.
So you find where you want it. Let's say this is where we want it. So we'll do kind of like a
Osiris.
So we'll increase this.
Osiris.
We want it more here, and 1 bar I think would be good.
Osiris. Osiris. Osiris.
Let's make it longer.
Osiris.
So you get that effect, or you can add a gator. And let's decrease the volume on this because it's hurting my ears. It's so high up, I accidentally put it up.
Osiris.
So you could add it, make it start here.
Osiris.
Other things you can do, get audio effect, do an auto pan. So you get the auto pan here. Oop, auto filter, no thanks. Get an auto pan, put it at the end. So here we have an auto pan, and pretty much what an auto pan is obviously what it's saying. It's gonna pan it for you, so you don't need to automate it. I mean, you could do it the old school way and automate it. I mean, for God all means, but you know, we don't want to do that here. So here you're gonna have like 4 wavetables available to you that you can automate in. And pretty much what I say to people is, okay, what do these wavetables mean? Pretty much just look at the way it's set up. Like we have a sine which has a slope, so you look at the slopes of the waves and where they're located at. So a sine is gradual and decreases gradually, increases gradually, decreases, and so forth. So the slope isn't that steep. It's like, it's not linear, it's more quadratic. I think that's what you call it. And then if you see the triangle goes from low to high, and then it has a decent slope. And then we have pretty much another one that goes straight up, down a slope, then straight back up, and so forth. So those are pretty much your characteristics for those. So I mean, like, just to add some neat effects to this, you can automate the amount. I mean, where you want it to auto pan, like right here towards the end.
Osiris.
See, and you get that effect. So there's so many things you can do. It's all about creativity, but at the same time is knowing your effects and knowing your DAW in order to get the, you know, that sound. Another tip I could give you guys is to get the auto tune. I know there's a lot of presets up on YouTube for Auto Tune Evo, and it's a really old plugin, and I actually torrented this one. Oh shit, I'm gonna go to jail. I just admitted to it. But it's perfect. If you run Fruity Loops, there's so many presets available. So, you know, take a look at it. It's called Auto Tune Evo VST64. And all I really use this for is just to pitch down my voice even more, but pitch it so that it doesn't go too down, and if it goes too down, it still works. So that's all I use Auto Tune Evo for. But again, most important thing about making those Vic vocals, guys, is to give your voice that tone. I mean, like I said before, you know, you're not gonna talk gay if you want like a deep God's voice, like Osiris. You know, you want Osiris, not Osiris. And please don't laugh. But anyways, that's a tutorial, guys, and it's really important. And remember, whenever you're doing stuff, always try and get it to sound first. Like, let's say you have silence 1, try and make the sound you want sound as close to what it's in your head as possible before you start post-processing. So let's say in your head you have this sound, this big Dutchy lead, but then in your head it's like distorted. Try and use the distortions in silent 1. If those don't work, then start going into camel fat and other distortions and so forth. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you guys, and if you guys have any more questions, let me know. And remember, with the EQ8, it's going to depend on your voice and how you recorded it. My mic gets all the dynamics, so I had to take out the lower end and boost a little bit of the high, but I got that kind of filterish voice sound I wanted, and it worked out great. Anyways, guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, free sound banks, presets. You guys know the deal. Support my pack on producer loops, and I'll see you guys next week.